What's going on, everybody? I'm just gonna make my intro kind of different every time. I don't know what am I really doing. My name is Cole, aka Trans Spirit Indigo, a soul having a human experience. It happens to be transgender. What's going on, everybody? I'm very excited about this particular video and the topic, and I've made a video similar to this a while ago, like probably a year and a half, almost two years ago, about coming out of the spiritual closet. I apparently have a life theme of coming out of closets and hiding who I am, and that's something I really had to take into account. Okay, it's funny because I've met a lot of quote unquote spiritual people that are on the path, people that identify as indigos, starseeds, psychics, what have you, that have talked about how they don't want to share with their family, with their friends, that they're experiencing this kind of stuff. And I totally felt like that, and I'm still like partially there. Like, the information that I'm into is out there, but I don't scream it on my mainstream Facebook page. I have kind of tiptoed around it with like old friends, with family, because I mean, let's face it, from what we've been raised with, it's some pretty like weird stuff. But the funny thing to me is that the more that I've resonated with this so-called weird stuff, the more that I feel like the stuff I was raised with is super weird. And like, no offense to anybody, but just, like, well, let's see. Being able to trust the government, for instance, just blindly just trusting. Like, I blindly trusted for years, and I realized that that was a mistake. And that's not even that's like one of my least favorite topics, because I mean, it's important to know and do your own research with conspiracy theories or this and that, but I just have to say, I know this video is geared more toward about like coming out of the spiritual closet, but I guess this is me in the midst of that, even though I've already done come out of this closet several times. I have to say, I have to put this out there, that, and Aaron Doughty, if you haven't checked out his channel yet, check out Aaron Doughty. He's amazing. He made a really good point about how he knows about conspiracy theories and he's researched it, but how he doesn't focus on it. That's important. That's something that has been life-changing for me, because as much as with all this like spiritual stuff, like, understanding the light includes understanding the darkness. But if you focus on the darkness and you focus on corruption with the government, lies, deception, all that kind of stuff, it's going to keep you in that vibrational frequency, in that energy that is that. And that's not where you want to be. And if you're a light worker, if you're an empath, if you're somebody that easily takes on emotion as your own, if you don't put up protective blocks in meditation, you're going to struggle. And it's just not worth it, because it's kind of like, okay, you know about it. And I'm saying this from experience, because I researched about different conspiracy type topics and stuff that would be more on the dark side of things before. And you know what? I always feel crappy after looking at it. It brings, because it's literally bringing down my vibration, because I'm focusing on it. And I tell myself, oh, it's fine, it's not going to affect me. No, it will. It will affect me. It may affect you if you're an empath. So I just wanted to say that, because a lot of people that I've noticed, especially on Instagram, that are like, oh, I'm spiritual and 5D and ascension, and like, that's cool and all, but then all they post is like, look at all this crazy evil stuff. And it's like, oh my God. It's good that like it's being brought to the surface so people can know the truth, but I'm just saying, like, if you're watching this and you're more spiritual and you're a light worker specifically like me, and an empath like me, it's very important to not get lost in that stuff. It's like, you don't want to blindly act like it doesn't exist, because it does exist. And that's my belief. That kind of stuff does exist. I mean, where there's light, there's darkness. Where there's miracles, there's tragedies. This is a planet of duality. Sorry about the plane. It gets really, really loud up in here. Anyway, I digress. What the heck was I talking about? I was talking about not focusing on the conspiracy theories if you're an empath. And the whole video was about, yes, wait for it, coming out of the spiritual closet. I don't know if you guys have like come across this, but once you start studying energy, the law of attraction, the universe, quantum physics, spirituality, when you start studying all these topics and you put time into it, you realize you can't just have an everyday conversation with just anyone who's never looked into that stuff, because it's almost like a language they won't understand. And then you get to that point where you're like, oh man, it would really take me like a long time to explain it to this person possibly. And they're not like dumb. It's not like I'm not trying to like be like, oh, you wouldn't understand. It's like, no, it's just that you study it. It's very in depth. All of it is very in depth. Yeah, that's why they even call it going down the rabbit hole. There's many rabbit holes. There's many layers to all of this, to reality. Like what this all really is, but it's amazing. And if you know what I'm talking about, you're there with me. Like, I'm gonna get way more in depth on this channel with it. That was one of my biggest intentions, and I'm so glad to be back on here, because there's just so much I want to share and say and connect with you guys out there, because I know there's so many people experiencing a spiritual awakening, or kundalini, or what you call it, what you identify it as. And it's a beautiful thing, but I mean, there's a lot of work to it as well, and there's a lot of darkness that does happen with it as well. And it's a process. It's an ascension process. It's a spiritual awakening process, and coming out of the closet with it is, I guess it's like you a lot of times we are picky and choosy of who we tell our beliefs to, and the weirder and more esoteric I know my beliefs have become, the more quiet I've become. And I don't know, I also have moved out to an area of the country where it is one of the most open-minded areas, and I feel very blessed to be here. And I know too, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, you're in LA, oh, well, I'm like in the middle of Kansas. Trust me, I understand. I'm from Missouri originally, and I love it there. Don't get me wrong. I'm from St. Louis, so it wasn't the middle of nowhere. It was still a small city, and there are a lot of spiritual people there too. But it wasn't something that I grew up with. And honestly, my beliefs now, I was told growing up in a strict religion that they were like witchcraft, even though like I don't identify as a witch. I don't identify with any of that. Like but that's what I would be labeled as, with just like the manifesting and visualizing things and believing that we can create our experiences with our thoughts, with our words. Like that did not fly with the way that I was raised. And so I understand too, like in other parts of the country it might be harder to come out and tell people, oh, I'm a spiritual person. And that's something I love about these videos, about social media, how we can connect with other people around the world who have been going through similar experiences and have similar beliefs. Yeah. What else to say? There's so much to say, really. I'm just taking in these birds, right? These birds are awesome. I'm so thankful for you that you're watching this right now. I'm so thankful for everyone who's watching this. Oh my God, like, who the hell am I? Like, I'm so thankful you took the Who am I? I'm a being of light and love energy. Self-confidence. That's something that I've struggled with a lot in my life, especially with being transgender and feeling so out of place. And so coming out as... First, I'll let you in on a little secret that's kind of funny. I might have said it before, maybe it's not a secret, but I originally came out as bisexual because I knew I wasn't a lesbian, but I didn't know what the hell to call myself, so I just called myself bisexual. It was kind of like, oh, well, this is what I'll call myself in the meantime while I figure out what's really going on. I'm dropping stuff. Anyway. Yeah, I called myself bisexual, and then I came out as transgender About a year later, because I realized what the word was. I was like, oh, I feel like a guy, but I'm not really sure what that's called. Figured that out. And then flash forward, like, shoot, from like 2005 to 2015, decade, and start having my spiritual awakening. Technically, I started to wake up very slowly in 2012 with the awareness through these conspiracy theories. That's why I wanted to say, like, it's good to be aware of them, and I'm not saying don't ever look at them, but try your best not to get caught up and continue to look at them, because what you focus on grows. And you'll be in that, like, worried state. In that last video about the breathing, like, there's a lot of shallow breathing involved in that, so you don't want that vibe. Anyway, I don't know. I got off track. I'll blame it on ADD. I'll blame it on these beautiful birds. I'll blame it on a loud noise that happened. I wasn't sure what happened. It distracted me. Sorry, guys, gals, and everyone in between. Coming out. Oh yeah, I was telling you. Came out as transgender. Came out as 2012. Oh yeah, the conspiracy thing. Okay. Now I know where I'm at. Anyway, squirrel. So 2015 is where the spiritual awakening really took off for me, and my third eye opened up, and it was like an extreme amount of gratitude that started it off. And it was after a serious accident where I almost lost my life. And I know that that happens often with people where they experience a spiritual awakening very fast paced after an accident. Not always, sometimes. That was me, and it just like took off. And like the more I tapped into it, the more I was blessed to have my consciousness expand and to be able to understand more and more information. And in the spiritual world, we like to call them downloads, downloading information. And it's been amazing. It's been magical. And I wanted to talk a lot more about that with you all on here, and share my personal experiences with it, and different things that have helped me along the way, because like I said earlier, it's not all like always great. Like there are some really dark, hard parts of it. And I mean, it's life. It's just, there's life is it's like tests and lessons, and there's beautiful parts to it, and we're supposed to, I believe, enjoy it to the fullest. But it's not always, sitting here in this beautiful setting with birds chirping. It's not always as wonderful. So that can be a rough part, to where it's great to engage with others, and we're all here to help each other get through it, right? Well, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'm excited to make some more videos. My background and stuff is gonna switch out. I'm kind of in traveling nomad mode right now. I would love to do one on the beach, but apparently I could do that if I was in the water. In LA County, we're not allowed to be on the beach right now without a mask, so that could be a really weird video where you just don't see my face move. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna do that. But from wherever I'll see you from, I'll be excited to see you there. I hope everyone's doing well. If you know anyone that needs to ask some questions about just LGBTQ kind of stuff, trans stuff specifically, I don't know much about taking testosterone or any reassignment surgery, because that's not what I'm doing, but I know people that do. I could point you in that direction. If you have questions about spiritual awakenings, oh my God, please, let's talk about it. I love to talk about it with people. All right, I love you all. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Much love and blessings.